your podcast host, Charlie Brixton. And with me, like vodka is chew toothpaste mixed with orange juice and tequila. But we all forget after 3 a.m. My co-host, Katie Bogart. What's up, girl? Hey, so I talk and I go on my rant of whatever the hell I discovered this morning. I'm not going to do that shit because we have something super important today. Katie, girl, you told me a story a couple of months ago. We were hiking, and I know. So the title of our episode is "Having Lived Through Your Own Past Lives, Living Lives Within Your Own Lives." Right?
Yes.
Right. Okay. And we talked about that, like, as we can say with transformation of who we are, how many lives have you lived? You know, if you're 30, if you're 25, you know, growing up, adolescence, you probably lived 4 lives already, right? Yeah. 5. And for those who are in their 20s or 30s, transformation, you told me a story about this badass bitch. But I want you to tell me, and you were like something about shaved heads or whatever. I don't know. What was it? Tell me.
No, yeah. Well, I feel like we do have a guest. And, but yeah, it was a lovely, 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 lovely lady that I worked with, that was a host where I worked and was really, really shy. You know, you didn't even really want to go up to her because you're like, oh. And she wore flat shoes and tan pants and had shoulder length hair. And then one day I went to work and she showed up in a strapless dress.
Yes.
Red shoes and a shaved head.
Whoa. And I know you were
was
like
talking to everybody.
like, what the hell brought that on? So with this, we had to get her here. Yeah. And I'm so excited. So ladies and gentlemen, trans amoebas, please, let's all give some energy to our guest, Shama. Yeah. Right? Hey girl. How are you? Get on the mic. Say hi. Don't be afraid.
Hi.
Talking to it.
So far away from
Talking to it.
Oh, hi. I'm
How are you?
I'm good.
I love your nails, by the way. She has like wearing like electric blue nails. I want that.
And I'm wearing the same shoes that Katie, you met me in the first time. I wore these shoes like 8 months, every day, almost every day, alternative day.
Yes! So Shama, I had the pleasure of meeting you a couple of days ago. And your story, like I know that if we can start a little bit, I know that you're from India.
I am.
Punjab. And I know that you had the beginnings a little bit where you were in an arranged marriage.
When I was 19.
Yeah. So I know that you were in arranged marriage.
Yeah. And
if you can talk a little bit about that. And because I was just like, the story with coming to America and how you're here, just a little bit about how does a girl get into an arranged marriage, comes to America, shaves her head, and has a whole different life. Girl, just talk to us, and we'll figure it out as we go. Go for it.
Yeah, I've gone a few lifetimes. But a girl at 19 in a city called Punjab. So we do what our parents tell us to do, you know, what our dad tells us to do. So we can't fall in love. So, you know, it was long time ago when a girl fell in love with a guy, saw him, and dad was like, no, you cannot get married to him. You're getting married to this guy.
That's crazy.
And you just gotta, that's it. You're gonna get married to him. You're gonna cook for him. You're gonna clean for him. And you're just gonna stay there for the rest of your life. You will not fall in love. You're not allowed to fall in love.
Fuck me.
No, you're not allowed to fall in love.
And this is what you were giving at the time.
Yeah.
You know? And I know I got so emotional listening to your story because I asked you about the first night having sex, you know, with someone you don't want to have sex with. Like, how is that for a woman, you know, and what the hell? And being a part of that. And I know I asked you about that and it was uncomfortable for me. And thank you for sharing, you know, and I remember I asked you also, what was your turning point? How did you get out that marriage? Can you share a little bit about that? I know it was with them.
Yeah, so the turning point, there are a lot of turning points.
I know, baby, I know.
And yeah, so at a 19, you don't know anything. Like, first night, what is that? I mean, we're not even supposed to talk about periods, you know, like I told you. And the first time I got periods, they're like, hush, hush, don't say anything to anybody. Like, what's a sex? I remember, like, my aunt just came in, like, I don't know if it's, like, too much to say. She just came and she gave me a piece of cloth. A bed sheet. She's like, just take care of this. And I didn't know what to do with that bed sheet.
Shit. Yeah.
That's all I heard from my...
Just take care of it.
Yeah, my aunt said, here is a bed sheet and be strong. Don't cry too loud. Oh, I remember. Man. She was like, do not be too loud. Don't cry too loud.
Before sex?
Yeah.
Jesus! Be strong. Like, really, are we like on an episode of fucking Gladiators? Like, it's just gonna be so upset.
And I didn't know what to do with that. Yeah. And then the next thing.
Be strong. The fuck. Don't cry too.
Yeah. And I was still.
I want to fight.
And you wonder, like, does she mean like crying, like actual like tears of sadness, or like crying tears of passion?
Tears of pain.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, and then the next thing I know is I'm pregnant. 15 days and I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And I was carrying his child. And I didn't know what to do because I had to go back to college. I was finishing final year of college.
And he was a farm boy. Or a farm boy or someone who wasn't necessarily as educated as you are.
Oh, yeah, totally. I remember when I met him, all he told me that... I don't know. I don't remember anything that he told me nice or
good. Past life, right? Past life.
I don't remember anything. All I remember is being told that, I told you. All I remember being told by his mom was like, you're the slipper of his foot.
Yeah.
You are the slipper of his foot.
Yep.
If a motherfucker was to tell me, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So, I spent like a year and a half in that marriage and finished my college, had my son. And so first you're not allowed to fall in love and then you're not allowed to divorce. You cannot. You wake up at 6 a.m, you cook for everybody, you clean for everybody, you wash clothes for everybody, but not with the washing machine that your mom gave you.
Yeah.
Who's going to pay the bill? That's what I was told. So there were a lot of like tipping points and then
How did you get out of it? Because you did end up divorcing your first. What happened? I remember it was like...
Oh, yeah. There was so many times. I remember like there was a time. So it was emotionally abusive. It was physically abusive. And when I told my mom that, hey, he slapped me. Yeah. And she was like, unfortunately, I love you, Mama. I'm sorry if you ever get to hear this. She won't understand English. I hope it will be okay.
So just remember pussy, Mom. Go ahead. Pussy. So
she's like, so what? Your dad did that too. That was 25 years ago. I was like, Ma, but what will society say? So you cannot divorce.
So my man is beating my ass, but I can't divorce him because society is going to talk about me.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck society. Totally. Society do want me. Oh, my gosh.
What will the neighbors say? What will society say? What
but
will that aunt say? And I'm like, does that aunt come and give me medicine at 2 a.m?
Get in. Yeah.
So after like multiple fights and after a lot of drama, one day I was like, enough is enough. And I just... What do they say? Like, how do they say? I learned few slangs. I dipped.
Yes! No, what's great is Shama has only been in the U.S., since 2015?
2015.
I love it, girl. She's like, I dipped. Yes, 5 years, I dipped.
I was like, I'm out.
Out this bitch. Hell yeah. And then we had, so now let's just fast forward, right? Let's fast forward. Shama is now in New York City. Begins Katie's story. Long hair, quiet. How did you get there? This is like...
How did I get there? In these shoes.
But so you're coming to America, and I know that there was different things, whatever. Let's start from now Katie knows you, right? What kind of girl, what was going on in your head when you had the long hair, you had this, like what was happening? Because you were quiet, I heard. You were quiet, you didn't.
I call that Shama mute Shama.
Wait, what is it?
Mute Shama.
Mute Shama, okay.
I literally went on mute because... Fast forward when I got divorced, so there was a lot of shame. Shame. You're a divorcee now. Nobody's going to want you. Nobody wants to marry you anymore. You're scarred. You're damaged goods.
Yeah.
So running away. I thought coming to America, I'll find myself. But I think I went darker into the shame. So while, because I started living multiple identities, I won't tell anybody I'm divorced. I won't.
Let's take a pause. You said I felt like I was going darker in the shame.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Because I thought in America I could speak my truth.
Yeah.
And I could be who I am, which I couldn't be back home. But it went even more because if I would tell somebody I was divorced and I have a son who doesn't live with me.
Yeah.
although I don't know if people judged me or not, I wouldn't know if Katie would have judged me, but I judged me before she judged me.
I hear you.
Yeah.
That shame and that guilt was so much on my shoulders, so much. When people would ask me, are you married? So I am married now. But do you have kids? I wouldn't know what to say. And people will be talking about kids and showing pictures. And as a hostess, I'm seeing kids coming to the restaurant. And there was a lot that's going on in my head. And I just didn't know who I was anymore. And I couldn't say anything more than, hello, hi, how are you? I'm good, thank you.
And I want to go back too, because, you did admit that, you had your son. And this was the most heartbreaking part of the story for me was, when you left and you said, I'm not going to be abused and beaten the rest of my life, your father said, okay, that's fine. But the son belongs to him. It doesn't belong to you.
Whew.
That was...
Yeah.
Yeah, because at that time, so I whatever broken English I'm speaking, I didn't speak at that time. And I'm a girl from a small city, a very conservative city. So my grandma said, now that you're divorced and now that you're damaged, your son belongs to him, not to you. And nobody's ever going to want to marry a divorcee with a son. So, yeah, it was... So I had to let him go at that time. I didn't have that courage in me at that time.
Well, you're 19 years old.
Yeah,
and you're being told what to do. And I mean, obviously that's where the shame started. And then, you did have a few years in India, and you said you started to party a little bit, got good jobs, making money.
I did everything I was told then. They're like, oh, she's a bitch. Oh, she's a W-H-O-R-E.
You can say.
Oh, you can say bitch. Child, our show is called Getting to the Pussy. It's fine. Do what you want.
I tried being authentic,
Yeah.
Oh, are you married? I'm like, no, I'm divorced. So that meant I was easily available. And then that meant, oh, it's easy. You can just, do whatever.
What switched it for you? So you're in America. You can't really say you have a son. You're long hair, and then you show up the next day bald. What happened? What was that process? What was that thought? What was this? I don't know.
I thought coming to America would help me get my identity, would help me find who I am, and I would be more authentic, and I would speak my truth. But there was still so much shame and guilt inside me, and so I quit my IT job. I had almost made it to the big American dream, but there was still... My soul was suffocating. I could not speak my truth. I was not happy. And then somehow I ended up working in that restaurant where I was not supposed to. And I see Katie and I see so many people who are so creative and artists and beautiful. And they're just like, there is no shame. There is no guilt. They're not scared of anything. And here I was dying inside. I was really dying every day. I wanted to talk. I wanted to come say hello and talk to everyone, but I just couldn't. And I could see people staring at me. I thought they knew all my deep, dirty, dark secrets. And they were just going to shame me, and they were just going to laugh behind my back, just like people did in India. So that still, I still carried that mentality. And I just started... I'm that person. I would not stop talking when I start, but there I just couldn't open my mouth. I just couldn't. And then I think I went through that dark night of soul. I wouldn't realize. I could not identify with who I was, and I couldn't see who I will be. I was just standing there at that host stand, looking at everybody, looking at the ceiling. I started creating tales of hostess in my mind.
Yeah, trapped. Yeah.
Trapped. I felt so suffocated. I can't be here. I can't be there. I remember one day calling my mom, and I was really, really, really missing her. I was missing my whole family. I had no one by my side. My husband and I, just two of us. And then he's the one who's bearing the burden of my sadness all the time. And I hit a rough patch.
Yeah, rough patch.
And then I remember I called my mom, and I was really sad, and I'm like, Ma, I want to come back home.
Wow.
I was like, Mama, I really, really miss you. And I want to come back home. And the first thing I heard was, oh, fuck, really? Like, she wouldn't use the F word, but she was like, oh shit, now the whole society is gonna like talk again. Oh shit, the shame is back.
Yeah.
She was like, oh shit, now what are people gonna say? She's back? That's an embarrassment.
Yeah.
So I was like, Mama, you're not proud of me?
Yeah.
I still hold a lot of resentment against her. And then I guess like I was so isolated. My friends and family, no one was there. I thought nobody would ever understand me. And I looked at myself in the mirror one day and I'm like, I could not recognize me anymore. Because back in India, when I started living on my own, I went crazy. I partied hard. I was like, I'll do everything. I'll live my life. I went trekking. I went partying. I worked hard. I made friends. I laughed. I cried. I had fun.
Yeah.
I had fun, but I stopped having fun. And I looked at me and I think one day I was watching that movie, Napoli Ever After. And I saw that chick going crazy. And
yes! Napoli Ever After with Sana laughing. I love the book, but I know like she cut her hair. It's the woman, she had straight hair, and then she was like, I'm going to go natural. And she shaved it. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, she was like,
oh, I love this. Yeah.
I was
own
like,
it.
I was like, own
Get
it.
in.
I never own my truth. I was like, will I ever have that courage in me to do something that radical and see the raw me and see the real me and give myself the childhood that I had wanted and give myself a fresh start, give myself a new birth. I wanted to I started having all those, I wanted to birth the new me.
Yeah.
And I was like, could I do that? And then I think it took me 4 days to decide. I told my husband.
The music comes on and what happens? You tell your husband?
He had 4 tequila shots.
Yeah! What is this with men loving long hair, right? They start freaking out. I was like, I'm going to cut my shit off. I love it.
He loved my long hair. Oh my God. I'm sorry, Paul. I still love you. But
Aww. You were like, fuck this hair. I need to get to me. And this is just a distraction.
I told him, I was like, I need your support. I don't need your approval. I need your support.
I love that. I don't need your approval. I need your support. Looks good. Yes.
I need your support.
Yeah.
So even if you don't, and the moment you say no, I'm going to do it right now.
Ew.
I wish your mom could listen to this podcast just to hear you say, I don't need your approval. I need your support.
You know what my mom said?
I think it's an episode. I don't need your approval. I need your support.
But you know what's funny? My mom said when she saw that, she's like, you did that on purpose, didn't you? To put me to more shame.
Oh, poor mama. You know what? I realize about with our parents, and it's just anyone. They can only love you from what they received, what they know. They can only connect with you. Sometimes we get pissed off with them because we want our parents to be supreme, but it's like, you know what? You just as fucked up as anyone else. I'm sorry. You are your environment. So I can't expect you to, because I got out that environment, right? Yeah. But it's hard to figure it out. It's hard to connect that. Because, poor parents.
Because the moment I put my picture on Facebook, and on New Year's Eve, I did that on New Year's Eve.
Guys, I'm going to post it. We're going to post this picture. It's a hot picture. You haven't sent it to me, by the way. But
And before my mom could find out, my neighbors called her.
Damn, nosy neighbors.
So it's not just me. It's her also suffering in that shame and that guilt for all her life that, oh, your daughter is divorced. Yeah. Oh, your daughter is doing all this crazy stuff. So I love her. I love her, but they would never... It's like a completely different realm.
It is a different realm.
It's a different realm. It's a different dimension. A woman shaving her head, my friends wouldn't understand it. They were like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? Oh, a friend of mine called me, mate, get off all the drugs you are on.
I love that. Shave my hair, get off the crack.
I'm like, okay, I'll stop putting all this,
Right. So you shaved your hair. And then that night, did it happen that night, the next day? What happened?
I don't know what happened. I just felt, I didn't know how it was going to go. I didn't put any thought into it. I just wanted to do it. And my soul was just like urging. And I went and I just came home and I just looked at myself in the mirror and I loved it. I loved it. I felt like so much burden off my shoulders. My shoulders were lighter. I felt like so much negativity was trapped in my hair.
Yeah.
So much weight was trapped and I felt lighter. I felt so much lighter, like I had shed years and years of shame and guilt. I'm like, you know what?
Why do I want to say getting to the pussy? You was getting to the pussy, bitch.
Oh, yes,
you was getting
I
to your
was.
pussy. Yes!
I was like, I'm connecting to my divine feminine.
Give me all that. Give me all that. I've connected to my feminine. Give me all that shit. Yes, I'm here for it. Oh, I feel like I'm in church.
I actually was reading the book Pussy at that time by Mama Gina.
Yes,
I was like, oh, this is what women do, you know, like this is exactly tap into my power. And I was like, this is who I am. Yeah. My face was full of acne, of stress and shame and everything. And I would hide behind my hair. You know, I was hiding behind my hair because my self-esteem was so freaking low. My self-esteem was like shattered into million pieces. Yeah. But then I had pretty long hair. So I'll hide behind them. Yeah, like, I'm a pretty girl. People will still tell me she's mute, but she's pretty. So now I'm like, you know what? This is who I am. I have nothing to hide behind anymore. This is who I am. Yeah. Take it or leave it.
Ow.
So that's how
and you look good, bald.
Yeah, and I cannot wait to post this picture on getting to the GETTING number 2 THE. Getting to the on Instagram. Maybe you too, but yeah, no, you do look good as hell. You know, and it's like, and when I think of, you know, we're originally from Punjab, and I know I've met a lot of Indian women and, you know, who are in arranged marriages, who are, you know, they're still trying to figure out, or if they are in America, you know, they're like, do I modernize? Is it modernize, or is it just being who you are, listening to your voice? And I feel like, because I feel like you were to, maybe you hear stories of when you do go back home and how women are killed, raped, right? In your family, where it's like, do you ever feel that even if you were to visit, there could be some type of danger? There could be, or you're like, nah, I mean, my family's not that crazy. Like, everything's cool. But I feel for the women, or possibility, like, can you live your life as free back home? Or even visit it? Mm-hmm.
In a happy world, I want to think so. Yeah. Yes, we can, but I don't. My family, I thought my dad was going to kill me when I left home. I left from my in-laws' house. Women in India don't do that. We didn't tell anyone. We were in shame for so long. Women don't leave. I left my in-laws' house for 2 nights. I didn't come home. And I still know that was a turning point for my dad. When I came back home and he hugged me, he's like, baby girl, let's go home. But my ex-husband had, even later on when I tried to reach out to him to meet my son, and I remember hiding under the kitchen sink because I was beaten up so badly that day. He was like, I'm going to like fucking kill you, bitch, today. You're a fucking bitch. You're a whore. And I want to share this.
Please.
6 months ago, a college friend of mine reached out to me. We studied together. We saw each other. We saw each other's journey together. And she called me out of the blue. She's like, I really, really want to talk to you. And I'm like, what happened? She's like, how did you do it? Living without your son, divorcing, running away. How did you do it? I'm like, okay, what's going on? She's like, I want to divorce my husband. I'm like, but I told you in 2015 when you told me that he raised his hand. Why didn't you do then?
Yeah.
She's like, earlier he used to beat me up like once in 2 months, once a month.
Fucking crazy. He beat me up every night.
Now he does it every week.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And she was locked up in the kitchen. Yeah. I'm not going to name her.
And I'm thinking, a man who beats you, a man who touches you, he wants you to die. Like, there is no way that man can care for you or love you. Like, he wants you to die. Why be in that?
It's hard. It's changing in some part of the world.
I love how your homegirl, she reached out to you for the blueprint. You know, and I can just imagine how many women are listening to this episode. Even men, women, I can only imagine how many people are listening to this episode and they're getting encouragement from your story. Because right now you are giving them the blueprint. You loved yourself more. You know, you cared for your life. And I love how she reached out to you. And she's like, how did you do it?
And before I started loving myself, I had become very self-destructive.
Yeah.
Because the whole world, I thought like the whole world is out there against me.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm like, if I can do it, you can do it too. And her answer was, we spent hours talking about you can do this business, you can go back to college, you can study, you can just do anything. We can figure this out. She was like, no, we can't. You were always outspoken. You were always outgoing. You had more confidence than me. You can. And I can't.
I don't want her to die. I don't want her to die. Where the hell is she? I don't want her to die.
My heart.
No. Yeah. I don't. And I think that people think like you don't have to be outspoken. You don't have to be confident. But there has to be a part of you. Now, I know things are complex, right? But there has to be a part of you that loves you.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
and wants you to, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I feel like shame is such, it's a human concept. We put it on ourselves, you know, what shaming is. Mm-hmm. And it's different for everybody. Mm-hmm. Like some people would be shamed if they knew that they had sex before marriage, where other people it's like, I would be shamed if I didn't have it,
Right? I'll be shamed. Please shame me if I don't have that motherfucker before I get married. Shit.
And I think it's, find your own shame. Don't let somebody else. Don't let somebody else shame you.
I love that. Find your own shame. Yeah.
Don't let somebody else shame you.
Yeah.
Have your own.
Have your own shit. I love that.
Yeah. Find my own shame. Shave my head.
I love that. Like I'm here. I mean, and just to look at you, like you're so bubbly. You're there. You're sexy. You're out. And I just can't imagine who were you when Katie first met you.
No, it was like I don't know if I've ever experienced. Yeah. I mean,
I love that when we love ourselves. Mm-hmm.
Who have gone through like
transformations and
oh man, Brenda just got a new haircut, But this was like, who just walked into the room? This person is completely different. I mean, you always were wonderful, but it was like if you did not have a light turned on and then you flipped it on and it was not just a light, it was a disco ball.
Yes! I have light in my living room. No, I'm so inspired that you're here. I'm really inspired that you're in this space with us. I'm inspired. I'm happy that you're alive. I'm happy that you're healthy and well. And I'm happy that so many people are going to listen to this and figure their own shit out, and try to get out. So where are you now in all of this? What's happening for Shama now? Like, where are you? What's your thinking? What are you going into? What are you curious about now?
Everything.
Yes. Okay.
Everything. That mute Shama so much I missed on live. I am finally owning my truth. I still struggle sometimes when people ask me, do you have kids? And I'm like, I don't want to tell you anything about my life.
And you don't have to. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell my colleagues what's going on in my life.
You don't have to.
But I still own my truth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I own my truth and I love myself more than I have ever done. And now I feel like I'm getting closer to my deeper truth, my inner truth. So I'm just still, I feel like I'm like, this is a rebirth of Shama. I'm like 5 months old right now.
I love that, the rebirth. I love within lives, right? Yeah. You're 5 months old. Speaking of love ourselves, before we end this, because I feel like this is a love session of self, can you guys tell me some words or how are you loving yourselves? Like, how do we love ourselves? And I love myself by, in the morning time, gratitude. I love myself by working out, eating healthy. I love myself by looking at and seeing the beauty in you, Katie, the beauty in you, and reflecting that. And it's like, oh, I want it all around me. What are you guys doing to love yourself or just be in it?
I know. Well, one of the main things that I've been doing for years, and I find it really helpful, and start doing it, is before I get out of bed, like I say things that I'm thankful for.
Yeah.
And that just starts the positive journey. And I tried my best to always look through my positive lenses and not my negative lenses.
Yeah.
Because my negative can get deep.
Right. And Shama, what about you, this love? Because you're radiating. Like, girl, what are you doing? And I'm looking at this chick. She has her nails. She has her green juice. So I can tell you're loving yourself. You want to make sure that you got some alkaline in you. I love that.
No, everything that you
Self-love.
said. Every morning I wake up, I look at myself in the mirror. I'm big time. I tell that little me inside that I love you. I got you. I love you. And I do. I watch what I put in my body. This is self-love, eating healthy self-love.
Yeah.
I started smoking a pack before of cigarettes.
Oh, shit, bitch.
I was so
heavy.
self-destructive.
Yeah.
It was like, ooh, the old Shama makes me cringe.
Past
but
lives.
now I love myself. I love myself. The gratitude, how grateful I am to be happy, to be healthy.
And to be safe.
To be safe. I tell that little girl, I look at me and I'm like, you're safe. You're loved. And everything that you both said, I couldn't agree more.
Guys, I love that. Let's repeat that again, where you tell that little girl, you're safe, you're loved, you know? And I feel like we all have to tell our inner little girls, you're safe, you're loved. Yeah. It's good, bitch. Like, it's a good life.
It's good life.
All right. So speaking of that, I am so happy that we have you. I can't wait to have you back on again so we can just talk about some more things. It was so amazing to have you. And for those who are listening and you're in these similar situations, you know, it's hard, but you can get out. You know, you have to take steps. And the first step is love, right? Self-love.
If I can do it, anyone can do it. Anyone can do it.
You hear that, y'all?
Everybody can do it.
Y'all better get to your pussies. All right, y'all. We love you guys. Happy Sunday. I know we're going to probably go to brunch later on and have margaritas. Really excited. Are you coming with us, Shama? Well, she has her green juice. I feel bad adding that with tequila, but we'll talk about it. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me here. It's truly my pleasure.
All right, y'all. Take care of yourselves and get to your pussy. And it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, trans, whatever. Get to your pussy. Get to your shit. Because you're going to love the other side. Bye, y'all. Hey, hey, hey. I like it. Thank you, y'all. All right.